Hello everyone and friends of graffiti art. Today we are dealing with the topic of the bubble style. I will briefly explain to you how I can achieve good results quickly and effectively. Our goal is to digitally draw a bubble style. We'll start by drawing a classic D as a letter. Next to that we put the first bubble attempt, which is kept very simple. Very simplified, we draw the same letter, only with rounded edges. And as you can see, it's a very simple bubble D. We just want to go one step further. We now draw the D with more drive in the lower area. You will develop a feel for how far you can distort each letter. The more often you do it, the more horny this style will be for you. Practice creates masters. Now let's take the I in the same way. First classic and then the version with rounded edges. Only that would be too simple for us. So let's start drawing this I to our final D nice and tight to the previous letter's edge spine. And drag a bubble serif at the top and bottom. That makes this I just funky. We now go one step further and immediately draw the letter G next to the I. Put the outer curve of the G nice and tight against the I. This adapts wonderfully to the upper and lower serif and stands securely. The G differs from the C only by a slash. This should definitely be emphasized. If you inflate the upper part of the G a bit and give it more volume, then it gives it more air. Since the lower area appears more complex due to the dash. With the next letter, the I, we should only make sure that it doesn't look like the I from the beginning. Each letter should look unique and not like a static typographic font. Unless it is wanted. In our case we simply leave out the lower bubble serifs. Stable, we just put the point of the I on the left side. To make room for the T we put the cover line of the T exactly next to the I dot. This is a good start to make the letter very stable. Easy, right? We will deal with it more intensively in the next few episodes. Now for A, since a small A would be appropriate, we should put the belly under the cover line of the T. We start at the top with the serif and exaggerate it a bit, but without losing the aesthetics of the letter. The serif at the bottom right is clever. Very successful in my opinion. Finally we draw the L to the A. Actually nice to put the upper bubble serif on the A. Now my tip to you. Create a new level and see what you can still achieve in the second step by simply drawing again freely over your first draft. Some transparency on the layer, about 20%. And off we go. Round 2. You can already see how the D can be made to look even more stable. Just distort a little more in the right places, thicker and whiter. Completely free and easy, not to be afraid. Make one or the other letter a little more slanted. On the I we also correct one or the other. Stable. The two dots on the T are only for height. I don't want the T to appear higher than the D, otherwise I give the T a more pleasant curve at the bottom. It now has a lot of swing and is also very stable. The A is not much to touch. I like him and his appearance. We just straighten the L a bit because it lies in the curve like a flood of water. Just straighten it up a bit. Once we've done that and we like the basic shape, then it's time to fill in. Today we are going to simulate a nice chrome by using a gray. In combination with red outlines it just looks incredibly beautiful. There was a time in the early 90s in Berlin. This color combination was considered the non plus ultra. Hot red from the Auto K brand and the finest chrome. The heat red era was born. Everyone has painted in these colors. A little too much. But nevertheless very good throw-ups were created and helped to make the bubble handle what it is today. I remember line pieces from RCB Crew Berlin. Okay, next step, highlights are nice and white. That always looks good. Finally, we draw a black backline around the whole thing to bring in a little more contrast. Cool. In one of the next episodes we will deal with the styling of letters in more detail. I hope it was informative, and one or the other of you will deal with his blowing stick again. Please leave a comment or like, or even better just subscribe to the channel and let yourself be inspired. With that in mind, keep your ears stiff. Greetings from 1 million names.